everyone, Jerry with IrisMagic here. So I get a lot of questions from brides about what kind of equipment we bring out for their wedding. This quick video is going to give you a little insight on what we're going to bring out for your wedding or event or whatever we might be doing that day. So the first thing I'm going to start with is our Canon bodies. We use the Canon VMark 4. We have 3 bodies. You can see them right here. 1, 2. This is body number 3. What I really like about the Canon VMark 4s is they have 2 camera slots. I don't have cards in there now, but there's 2 slots for cards. We record to 2 cards at one time. If something happens that one card will go corrupt while we're shooting to a backup card as well, so we always have 2 copies after your event. The next thing I'm going to talk about is one of our main lenses, which is a Canon 24x70. This is a zoom lens. It's a quick lens. I like to use this whenever people are moving, like for example during the ceremony, when the bride's getting ready. This is a good go-to lens. Like I said, I like this when people are moving. You could use it for portraits as well. I don't use it for a lot of portraits. I'll talk about my 85 a little bit with there, but this is a good go-to lens, especially if you're a beginning photographer. This is a great lens to start with. Next lens I'm going to talk about is my 85mm. This is my favorite lens. This is my portrait lens. Anytime I'm doing portraits for anything, be it weddings, families, seniors, this is always the lens you're going to see in my hand. I like this lens because of the f-stop. We have the capability to go down to 1.2. Normally I shoot at about a 2.0. Gives me the nice bokeh effect for that portrait so my subjects stand out. The next lens I'll talk about, let's talk about our macro lens. The macro lens is the lens you're going to want to use for details of shots. Close-up shots that you're most likely going to be getting before the wedding, your rings, the lace on the dress, invitations, all those little tiny details that brides like to see with their pictures. You could do that with this 24x70. You're going to get a lot more details if you go to a macro lens. My next lens I'm going to pull out is a 12x24. 12x24, I usually use this towards the end of the evening if I'm doing a landscape shot. Say I'm going to do a shot of the bride and groom at a sunset, or maybe a dust shot with the venue lit up behind. Those are normally wide angle shots. I'm going to pull up my 12x24 so I can capture all that landscape in the photo. Next thing I'm going to talk about is, one more lens here. We have a 70x200. So look at this lens. So this lens is huge. It's long, pretty heavy too. 70x200 is the second lens I'm going to wear during the wedding ceremony. I have my 24x70 on to get shots that might be longer away, but we also want to get some close-up details of the bride and groom, maybe saying their vows, exchanging rings, just some close-up expressions, but you don't want to get in the middle of the ceremony. You want to be discreet. That's when the 70x200 is going to come in handy. It's going to let you get those shots without getting in the middle of the ceremony. Next one is a speed light, a Canon EXRT, 600 EXRT. Might use these during the ceremony if the lighting's not very good. Most of the time for the reception, you're going to see me pull these out. It's usually dark at the reception. So this just gives us a little lighting to go with it. Then you always have some basic things here. Always have extra battery chargers with charged up batteries on spot. This is a Canon trigger. If we do a long exposure at night, I'm going to trigger the camera with the trigger instead of touching it to prevent any shake in the camera for that long exposure. Then we always have extra batteries and extra cards. That's typical little cloths that we might need to use to wipe off lenses. This is very important. This is a cyclone bolt. This is going to work with my flash. I'm going to connect it to the flash, usually during the ceremony and the reception. I want this flash to fire every time I press the button. Without the cyclone bolt attached to it, it's probably not going to do that. It's called recycle time. So this tool is just going to help me get my recycle time up, and I'm not going to miss any shots if I have that attached. Let's see what else here. We also carry a Polaroid Light. Let's say, for example, if the bride's getting ready and I need to create some light coming through a window, might use that to create the light if it's a little dim situation. And then the very last thing here, this is an 8-case bag. It's a backpack with wheels. I really like that. I usually have that on me as well. Have this little bag here just because this bag gets full and it gives me some extra room to put some backup stuff in. But that's really the gist of what we're going to bring out photography-wise on your wedding day. If you have any questions, give our studio a call. One last quick thing, hit the subscribe button now to stay updated with our channel.